What do you do when your boss micromanages you? Well, today I'm going to break down how you can fight back. My name's JT O'Donnell, and today on Just Ask JT, I'm going to be helping you understand why bosses micromanage and what you can try to do to fix the situation. By the way, I'm on brand new equipment today, so if it's looking a little laggy, we're trying to get it fixed, folks. Bear with me. I appreciate your patience. Maybe you just turn off the video and listen to the sound. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about why bosses micromanage. So micromanage, let's define it so that we're all on the same page, is when a boss is constantly coming back and reiterating what they want you to do. They're checking in every step of the way. Instead of just giving you a project and confidently knowing that you'll get it done on time and under budget, they're coming and checking in and wanting to know where you're at. And what happens is it's distracting. One, it takes you away from actually doing the work. So it makes the process longer. But two, mentally, it makes you feel like they don't trust you. And that is a cause for concern, right? You know, you are a business of one. You're a service provider. You want the customer to feel like they're well taken care of. When the customer is checking in every 2 or 3 seconds, that's annoying and frustrating to you. And it's also not very productive. So we want to think about the framework of that. We want to understand that. Now, why might a boss continue to micromanage? Well, it normally stems from their own insecurities. So, for example, if something was to blow up or go wrong, you didn't get it done on time, they're on the hook, right there to blame. And they're worried about their own job, their own reputation. So that's one thing. Another thing that can happen is that some bosses are super particular and want everything done a certain way. Is that a good thing? No, but it does happen a lot. And so they're constantly checking to make sure it's being done just the way they want it to be done. And then the third is just that sometimes, I don't want to say they have enough to do, but they actually think that part of their job is to go in and constantly check like that. They think that that's what a manager does. And so for these reasons, you can have somebody who might not even be aware that they're micromanaging, or quite frankly, doesn't care that they're micromanaging because they're protecting their own job, their own career. And if that means you're flustered, it doesn't matter to them, right? It's their job, it's their reputation. And so we do want to try to put ourselves in their shoes and get to the bottom of what is causing the micromanagement. So my first step when I have clients come to me and they're dealing with this is we sit down and we say, what are all the ways that this boss micromanages you? I want you to list out all the ways. Give me specific examples. Don't give me generalizations. In fact, I've had clients, for example, keep a journal, and I would suggest that you all do this too. For one solid week, Monday through Friday, every time your boss micromanages you, I want you to write it down in a journal and keep track of it, right? So once the end of the week comes, we can sit down and say, okay, tell me specifically how they did that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What you do once you've tracked that for a week is you look for the patterns. So are there patterns in the time of day that they come to see you and do this? Are there patterns in what they're asking you? Are there patterns around what particular project that they're focused on? You're trying to look for those things to help decide, all right, do we think this is because they want to make sure it's done their way? Do we think this is because they think it's their job to come in and check on me? Do they think it's because they're really worried that it's not going to get done or done correctly? You know, where is this micromanaging coming from? We should be able to detect that once we've looked at that. And it's really important you do this, folks, because by now, if you're upset that your boss is micromanaging, you're taking it personally, you're bringing emotions into it, and you can't. That's not a good thing. So by journaling and objectively, almost like taking a scientific approach to, all right, let's break down and try to figure out the patterns of this individual to determine what's really prompting this particular type of micromanagement. Because now we've got data. And you know me, I've been doing this for 20 years. You always want to come at any career problem with data, with fact. You never want to have hearsay. You never want to hear generalization. So let me give you an example of what I mean. If you were to just go into your boss and say, look, can we have a conversation? I really don't like how you micromanage me. Your boss is going to say, I don't micromanage you. Tell you how you micromanage me. And so now you're going to like give some random comments of stuff that really bothered you. And they're going to be like, you know, well, that's just how I do things. So it's not a good conversation. It's not being structured the right way. When you take the data-driven approach, you can go in, and here is the key phrase, and I'm going to say it a couple times, and I want you to all write it down because this is such a secret sauce. You are going to sit down with your boss and say, can you help me understand something? Let me say that again. Can you help me understand something? So you are going into your boss and asking for help understanding something. That's what a boss is there for, right? So what you've done is drop their guard. You've got them, right? Going, okay, the relationship is they need help from me, right? And that's how we want to start this conversation. Can you help me understand something? Right? Great. Then you're going to use the data. Say, I was kind of getting the feeling like maybe you don't trust that I'm doing things the way you need me to, or maybe you're just worried that I'm not going to get things done, or even that you feel like that you need to check in with me a lot. But I noticed, and I kind of took notes last week, that, about 3 to 5 times a day, you come in and check in on me. For example, on Monday, you came in to check on this, and then you came in to check on this, and then you came in to check on this. And then Tuesday, you emailed me about this. And so if I add that up, you came to check in about these things about 27 times. And each of those times requires me to think about it and respond and interact. And so, one, it kind of throws me off my game. It distracts me from my flow. But two, if I just look at it, it's about 4 hours a week of my paid time that you're checking in on the work that I should be capable of doing for you. So I feel like I must not be doing something right. And that's what I want help understanding, because I don't want you to feel like you have to come check on me 27 times in a week. That's not a productive use of your time or my time. More importantly, I want you to feel 100% confident in me that I'm getting everything done and that you don't need to check on these things. So, what can I do differently? How can I do it so that you don't have to come do this anymore? See what you did there? You very carefully laid out the data. You calculated 27 times, even at, 10 minutes a piece. We're looking at several hours of time where you're checking. And I don't want that. I want to be successful for you as the worker. It's taking away from your time. It's taking away from my time. Your time's expensive. What can we do to eliminate this? Help me understand. See how that works? Because if they haven't realized they're doing it, you just gave some serious data points. If they do know they're doing it and there is some concern, they have to tell you right now. Like, you've just given the data for them to have to explain it to you. Okay. But then lastly, if their answer to you is, that's how I manage and it's not going to change, well, you just learned it's time to look for a new job. Deadly serious. Because you've laid it out on the table, you've asked for help, and the answer is you're not going to get help. You're going to accept the way I do things. And that is your choice. If you don't want to keep getting micromanaged when they flat out told you this is how it's going to be, time to look for a new job. Don't quit the job, because it's very hard to get a job when you don't have a job, right? But you leave that conversation going, okay, this is one of my last days on the job. I'm going to actively look for a job and go find a place where I'm not micromanaged, because they just made it clear that's not going to change. Does that make sense to everybody? Again, it's yours to address. Because oftentimes, as somebody who's been in HR for many years, you have a manager who's not been properly trained, and their default mechanism is to micromanage. And you don't want that. So gathering the evidence, right? Documenting, journaling the instances with specific detail, rolling up the calculation and thinking about the time wasted on their end, on your end, and then going to them with a help me understand how I can do a better job so that you don't have to do this is the right approach. And you've got the data to back it up. And I'm telling you, more often than not, they either didn't realize or there's something they need to share with you. But if they flat out look at you and go, no, this is how I manage, this is how it goes, you now know the truth, and you don't have to stay there. You're not being held hostage, folks. So if you're being told this is going to stay, then it's your decision to move on. And that's good too, because you now gave it your all. You had the honest conversation. You tried to make it right. It's not going to be right. And you don't have to stay there. You can go look for a new, different job. Yeah. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. I want to see this comment from Amy. Amy says, I'm so glad I stumbled on this. It's a touchy to address. It is, Amy. It is touchy to address, but not if you approach it with the help me understand. Here's the data. It's hurting you. It's taking you away from your job as manager. It's taking me away from the job. I want to solve for this together. Right. And so you're not shaming your boss. You're trying to help your boss. You're looking at your boss going, what am I doing? So there's no shame, there's no tension, but you get to the bottom of it. And, you're either going to know it's time to move on or you make some headway with them. Either way, you win. But what you don't do is stay in this toxic cycle of micromanaging that gets your emotions up, your elevation, you're angry, you're frustrated. And meanwhile, they a lot of times don't even know. They don't even know. Yeah. So really, really close. By the way, people are like, I wish I joined on time. Guess what? The recording goes on LinkedIn. You're going to be able to watch the recording on LinkedIn or YouTube. And more importantly, if you are a member of my free resource center, no credit card required, truly free. You get notifications about the events and you can watch all the recordings. So Darlington, my friend, and everybody else that joined late, don't worry about it. Go join the free resource center. It's going to be linked in my bio, or go to workitdaily.com and sign up for the free resource center there. Okay. And then you'll be able to watch all these. But I love that you came in. Question is, but what if your new employer asks you your previous employer and why you are willing to leave? Okay. Yeah. So your previous employer, okay, I'm not going to answer that question right now because it's not related to the topic. Just so you know. All right. Thank you. Straight communication solves and brings clear environment. Then it is my choice. Idil, that is the takeaway. If I was to wrap up today's live with that comment, you just nailed it. 10 out of 10 with that comment. Folks, straight communication, positive, help me understand, what can we do? Here's the evidence. And then you decide. It's your decision after that. You did the right steps and that's it. At 100%. Well done. Joseph says, sometimes it's a trickle-down effect because they may be more trusting, but they themselves are managed by micromanager or narcissist. Joseph, great comment. And this is when it's going to come to light, isn't it? So if your boss is micromanaging you because their boss is micromanaging them, then you going in and talking about it in this very calm, non-threatening, non-shameful manner is probably going to make them reveal it and go, yeah, I've got so-and-so breathing down my neck, sending me emails and texting me every single day. That's why I'm asking you. And then wouldn't you love to know that they're now suffering as well? Then you can bond together on that front. Such a great point, Joseph. Again, comes back to the conversation, communication, but you've got to have the data, right? You got to have the proof. You just can't walk into somebody and go, I really don't like how you micromanage me. And then not have the data, the specific week of data that shows 27 times they interrupted you and it cost you 3 or 4 hours of your week. That's a waste of everybody's time without you even having to say it. And meanwhile, you're just saying, but please, what can I do to make this better? I mean, that's how it gets done, my friends, right? That's how it gets done. Well done. Excellent. I love it. By the way, folks, if you've ever wondered, if you're sitting there and you're feeling micromanaged and you're like, I'm not sure I'm in the right job, because that's some of it too. I think sometimes when we're not doing the things that make us feel the most successful, we feel frustrated and we feel not valued. And then things like that trigger us, right? Because if you were in something like you truly loved, that probably, and you were so comfortable in your abilities and you knew you were crushing it, it might not bother you as much as if you were also in an environment where it felt really uncertain, or you felt like you weren't sure you were doing the right thing. So one of the things I strongly recommend, and this is for all my free resource center members, so everyone that's part of the free resource center, if you haven't already, please go use the new JT AI tool. It's called Unlock Your UVA, which stands for Unique Value Add. It's going to take you through the process of going through my 2 quizzes, Career Decoder and Communication Style. And then I'm going to give you custom videos of me explaining your UVA and how to leverage it. And so I think that's really important to do, because sometimes they're micromanaging me. Oh, this is wrong at work. When deep down, if we step back, maybe we can just admit to ourselves we're not where we should be. We're in this job, but it's not really where we should be anymore. And so it's easier to get mad at the job and the external factors than to say, you know what, it's probably just time to change jobs. And so one of the ways you can figure that out is by unlocking your UVA and say to yourself, okay, this is my UVA. This is my unique value add. This is how I feel joyful doing work. Does that align with what I'm doing for a job? Because if it doesn't align, that's a bigger problem. So don't forget, that tool is 100% free. No credit card required. It is inside the free resource center. If you're watching us here on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn, there's a link down below to my bio link, and you'll find the free resource center in there. If you're over on TikTok, in my bio link, you'll see it in there, the free resource center. Please go sign up and take the Unlock Your UVA, because that's a bigger problem. Sometimes we're mad about micromanaging, or we're angry at our boss, or we're angry at the world at work. And the truth is, we just shouldn't be there anymore. And so, you know what? We should go find a job that'll bring us joy, and we should open that job up for someone else who will actually like that job. That's what we need to do. That's a whole different day, different podcast for sure, right? But it's something that we think about. All right, let's talk about this question from Lorna. What about a manager who even feels the need to attend meetings so they understand the impact on their employee, just letting the employee handle the meeting and report progress? Yeah. So again, when you have managers attending, it is a fear thing, 100%. So something is happening that is giving them a vote of no confidence. So Lorna, I think you need to absolutely go in and sit down with your boss and say, help me understand. Because what I would say in that situation is, help me understand, because I think that when you attend those meetings, the team feels like I'm not really their boss. The team feels like you don't trust me enough to run these meetings and report back to you. And I don't want that. I want the team to trust me. I want them to believe that you believe in me. And so it's making me wonder, if you do believe in me, is there something I'm doing that's making you feel like you have to sit in on those? And they're like, no, I just want to see the impact. And you say, I get that. But the impact it's having, in my opinion, is that the employees think that you don't trust me. And I don't want that. Could we try me running the meetings and me reporting back to you? That's how you have to do it, right? You have to have that honest conversation. Help me understand. Here's my concern. Can you help me? And then your manager can say, and if your manager's like, no, then again, Lorna, this may not be the place for you anymore, because this is a manager that refuses you to let you run the meetings and feels like they need to be present, which I actually do believe that it undermines them. Like, why are they there? They could be doing other things. It comes across like they don't trust you doing your job. And I think that's what you need to politely convey to your boss. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very good. Excellent job today. Did this make sense, everyone? What's your big takeaway? I want to know, what did you learn? What was your aha moment from this? Because you don't have to suffer in silence with a micromanaging boss. And I don't think another day should go by where you put up with this. But I do think you have to structure the conversation and have the evidence to have a meaningful, calm, data-driven conversation around the help me understand. And when you do that, you are going to get much, much better results. Yes? Did that help? I want to see it in the comments. Give me a heck yeah if it did. And I just want to say a big special thank you to all of you. You know, we started the year with this free resource center that I'm in, and didn't know, like, just knew people were really hurting and needed job search advice. And to see 1,000 people a week signing up has been just amazing. And to see people really getting in there, attending the free trainings, right? There's $1,000 worth of free training in there. They're the 4 most successful trainings our job search clients told us last year were helpful. We put those in there for free. I'm going live 3 times a week. There's just honestly, the Unlock Your UVA tool, to do that privately would be $500. You're getting it free. We're just giving away as much as we can. We can't work with everybody one-on-one, and we know that. But I just want to say thank you. It's been really reassuring to see that people are finding this helpful in what is by far the worst job market I've seen my entire career as a career coach. But let me tell you something. It doesn't mean you can't get hired. It's not 0 jobs out there. It's just competitive. And I will say this to all of you, while everyone else is out there doing the same old things the wrong way because it's familiar, right? You all have decided to come to job search school, learn the right way to do things, learn the right way to manage your career. And that's when you get results. Because when you pay down the ignorance tax, when you gain knowledge, you gain power. And so thank you, because you could have been doing a million other things right now, but you took 20 minutes out of your day to listen to this. And that tells me the kind of person you are, right? When you invest time or invest money, you believe in yourself, and you believe in yourself when you take the time to learn things like this. So means the world to me. It means the world that you've all become part of the free resource center. We've gotten a killer community in there. They're just amazing. And I absolutely love you all. So don't forget, I'm back 2 more times this week, Wednesday and Thursday. So if you're in the free resource center, you can see what's coming up on deck for my sessions. You can also submit a topic. So if you have a topic that you want me to cover in one of these sessions, please go into the free resource center. There's a form there that you can fill out. We look at those every day, and your topic could be, next on deck for sure. Okay. Awesome. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm so appreciative of it. I hope you found this session helpful, and I hope to see a bunch of you back here tomorrow, and certainly all of you in the free resource center so we can work on this together. Yes. All right. Take care, everyone. Go work with those bosses. Get them to stop micromanaging. You know what to do now.